Kazuto Ioka gets his revenge in the rematch over Nietes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was a 115-pound rematch between Kazuto Ioka and Donnie Nietes. Ioka gets the win by decision. Let's start with some pros and the cons. Let's start with Ioka first. I like the fact that he was mixing up his punches. He was throwing upstairs and he was throwing downstairs. I also like the looping left hook that he was throwing, trying to get around Nietes' guard that was up. I like the fact that he kept his hands up. He kept those elbows tight to his side. He kept his hands up so he wouldn't take any damage. And I like the fact that he kept his distance. And what I mean by that is that anytime that Donnie tried to come forward, he would take that little step back and he would keep the distance. I really don't have any cons for Ioka. I thought that he fought a pretty good fight. As for Donnie Nietes, I did like the jab. I thought he had the jab working good, and I did like his left hook. But as for the cons, I do have a con for Donnie, is that I thought that he could have been a little more aggressive. And by that, I mean that even though Ioka was keeping the distance, he could have tried to find a way to get inside a little more, but he just couldn't. Let's talk about the fight a little bit. I thought the fight was a decent fight. It wasn't a slugfest. The fight really was fought at a distance. Each man was kind of trying to time and keep his reach out there to find the distance. But I thought that Kazuto did a better job of keeping his distance, but getting inside just enough to get his shots off and then getting back outside where he couldn't get hit. I thought he had pretty good head movement in most of the rounds, and I thought that he was throwing Donnie off quite a bit. And the fight pretty much went that way from rounds 1 through 12. It pretty much was a chess match, your typical classic boxing match where no man was really giving up his advantages. And they each was trying to win the fight at a distance and not take much damage. Even though Nietes got cut, but I think that was from Ioka getting inside and throwing his quick shots and getting back out, throwing that quick left hook. And I want to say, if I remember, it was a straight right hand that he caught him with that put the cut over his left eye. But anyway, we get to the end of the fight and Ioka does get the decision. And now that chapter is more than likely closed. And I think we'll move on from here. I think that Donnie still has some fight left in him. But to me, he just seemed a little bit slower and a little bit, I would say, less himself than he was a couple of years ago. But as for Ioka, he now says that he wants to unify the super flyweight division, and Juan Francisco Estrada is one of the names that I saw in a post-fight interview that he said that he would like to take on, and he would like to unify the belts. So pretty much, fight fans, that was it. I mean, it was not a boring fight, but it wasn't an overly exciting fight. So what do you want to see? Do you want to maybe see Juan Francisco Estrada against Ioka? Or do you want to maybe see Ioka take on someone else? Or do you maybe want to see a rubber match between these two? At this point of their careers, I don't think that the rubber match is necessary. Like I said, Donnie Nietes has been a good fighter, but I don't see it going different a third time. I don't necessarily even think that it's worthy of a third fight. I think that we can just close that chapter out and let Ioka try to go ahead and unify the belts. But what do you want to see? Did you enjoy the fight? Did you pick Ioka in this rematch? And do you want to see him maybe fight Estrada? He's going to have to see Estrada. Or do you want to maybe see him take on someone else first? Excuse me. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can keep talking boxing. Like a lot of you, I had to catch this fight early in the morning because we're on like a 12-hour delay, and I just want to get this one out there so you guys can get my thoughts on the fight, and I would love to hear yours. Anyway, that's all I got, fight fans. Holla at y'all later.